Woke up to the bell. I don't need no 9 to 5. Got charts on my mind. I just hold and ride. Yeah. Flip that red to green. I'm addicted to the screen. Grew up broke. Now my candles looking clean. Broke a calling like you play too wild, but I'm trendline loyal. That's my lifestyle. I see the dip. I don't panic. I reload. Margin call whispering. Boy, you bold. I don't chase hype. I manifest gold. Portfolio drip when my story's told. Give me that breakout volumes right. Options hit my weeks on site. Every candle's a vibe tonight. We just hold and ride. Hold and ride. We don't fold. We slide. Charts look alive when the bulls collide. From the lows to the highs. We just hold and ride. Hold and ride. Can't kill my vibe. Profit take it slow. While the games multiply. Let it roll. Don't hide. We just hold and ride. Bag check. Yeah, I'm risking for the glory. Stop loss tight. That's the moral of the story. Cash flow king. No crown, no throne. But I built my empire on a metronome. Limit order set. I ain't stressing trends. Learn more from drawdowns than I did from wins. This ain't luck. This discipline. Got charts in my veins and greed in my grin. I lost some. I gained some. But I never stop showing up when the pain come. Cause every red day still feels right when I hold and ride. Hold and ride. We don't fold. We slide. Charts look alive when the bulls collide. From the lows to the highs. We just hold and ride. Hold and ride. Can't kill my vibe. Profit taking slow while the gains multiply. Let it roll. Don't hide. We just hold and ride.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to a little bit of a specialty episode of the Matt Kohrs Show. We're in a mere 11 to 12 minutes. We are told that we are getting a surprise, a huge announcement from the sitting president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. What is it about? I have no idea. If I had to guess, it might be in the realm of who's the next Fed chair. It might be the official announcement of Kevin Hassett, the National Economic Council director, going to get moved over to being the Fed chair potentially in May of this upcoming year. I think that's what the announcement's going to be. If it is, I would expect a bullish reaction in the market because he's viewed to be a dovish Fed chair, which should be bullish for equities and for crypto. But once again, this is nothing but a guess, folks. I want to be completely honest, transparent. This might not relate to the stock market at all. It might not relate to monetary policy or the Fed. It might relate to some other crazy stuff that's going on. All we know is that it's a surprise big announcement going down allegedly at 2 p.m. today. So obviously I have thoughts and opinions on this, but let's see what happens. So it should be starting in a little bit. Let me make sure I have the market ready to rock. Let me switch this over for you guys here. Let me lower this a little bit. So right here, the president makes an announcement, 2 p.m. Tuesday, December the 2nd. That is where we are at. He is currently talking to his cabinet. I guess this meeting is still going on. The president hosts a cabinet meeting in the cabinet room. The announcement is supposed to come from Roosevelt Room. So I don't know if he's switching it up or if this is running over. So I just want to let you know that he is literally live talking somewhere else right now. We'll come back. This is his cabinet. It's in the cabinet room. For a little bit of context on the day, the SPY is slightly green. The NASDAQ is even more so green. Bitcoin is very green, 92,000. And then small cap also slightly green on the day. So we've done a whole bunch of nada. We opened up pretty strong. We pumped a little bit, came all the way back down to yesterday's closing value. We pumped again. We came back down to yesterday's closing value. We pumped again. We came back down to yesterday's closing value. And now we're just slightly above that. So just wanted to give you a little bit of context of where we are on the day. And I guess just in case something gets interesting, maybe we should switch it over this to see what they have to say.
Very dangerous stuff. I know so many people where their sons were drug addicts. They had one little sample and they died. They couldn't believe it.
Very quickly, what do you guys guess he's going to be announcing? I just give me something to read because I want to see maybe if any of you are on to something. What do you think he will be announcing at this 2 p.m. meeting? What do you think this makes an announcement? What do you think that is all about? Will Trump pump the market or will he dump the market or literally have no impact? I want to know. What are your thoughts?
As far as the attack, I didn't know anything about people. I wasn't involved in it. I knew they took out a boat. But I would say this. They had a strike. I hear the gentleman that was in charge of that is extraordinary. He's an extraordinary person. I'll let Pete speak about him. But Pete was satisfied. Pete didn't know about second attack having to do with two people. And I guess Pete would have to speak to it. I can say this. I want those boats taken out. And if we have to, we'll attack on land also, just like we attack on sea. And there's very little coming in by sea. I think we've knocked out over 90% of it. There's very little, and I understand that. There's very little. We're saving hundreds of thousands of lives with those pinpoint attacks. It's an amazing thing when you see a boat going along. And, a lot of the press would like to say they're not. You see the boat. They're not maybe drugs. You see these boats. First of all, who has 5 engines on the back of a boat? Going in weird directions and loaded up with lots of white containers. They're bags of things. No, they've done an amazing job, and Pete has done an amazing job. But Pete, you could probably better answer the question.
No, you're spot on, sir. I think you got to start with the baseline, which Marco laid out. Everybody's laid out. You got 20 million people invading our country over 4 years. We don't know where they're coming from. That includes Tren de Aragua and cartels and violent criminals. They bring drugs, and you mentioned it, Mr. President, poisoning, an intentional poisoning of the American people, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. So the president had the courage to designate these cartels as designated terrorist organizations. Now, a number of us here served in the military and spent 20 years fighting terrorists like Al-Qaeda and ISIS on the other side of the world. How do you treat Al-Qaeda and ISIS? Do you arrest them and treat them, pat them on the head and say, don't do that again? Or do you end the problem directly by taking a lethal, kinetic approach? And that's the way President Trump has authorized the War Department to look at these cartels. And I wish everybody could be in the room watching our professionals like Mitch Bradley, Admiral Mitch Bradley, and others at JSOC and SOCOM and other commanders. The deliberative process, the detail,
Delta's starting to pick up. Market's getting a bit excited.
The evidence-based way that we're able to, with sources and methods that we can't reveal here, that make sure that every one of those drug boats is tied to a designated terrorist organization. We know who's on it, what they're doing, what they're carrying. All these white bales are not Christmas gifts from Santa. This is drugs running on 4-motor fast boats or submarines that we've also struck. No one's fishing on a submarine. And I have empowered them to make that call. Now, the first couple of strikes, as any leader would want, you want to own that responsibility. So I said, I'm going to be the one to make the call after getting all the information and make sure it's the right strike. That was September 2nd. There's a lot of intelligence that goes into that, building that case and understanding that, a lot of people providing information. I watched that first strike live. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So I didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting. A couple of hours later, I learned that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do, and by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat. He sunk the boat, and eliminated the threat. And it was the right call. We have his back. And the American people are safer because narco-terrorists know you can't bring drugs through the water and eventually on land if necessary to the American people. We will eliminate that threat, and we're proud to do it.
So you didn't see any survivors, to be clear, after that first strike? You personally?
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand, because the thing was on fire. It was exploded and fire or smoke. You can't see anything. You got digital. This is called the fog of war. This is what you in the press don't understand. You sit in your air-conditioned offices or up on Capitol Hill and you nitpick and you plant fake stories in the Washington Post about kill everybody, phrases on anonymous sources not based in anything, not based in any truth at all. And then you want to throw out really irresponsible terms about American heroes, about the judgment that they made. I wrote a whole book on this topic because of what politicians and the press does to warfighters. President Trump has empowered commanders to do what is necessary, which is dark and difficult things in the dead of night on behalf of the American people. We support them, and we will stop the poisoning of the American people.
And Mr. Secretary, on the second strike, you said it happened more than an hour after the first strike.
I couldn't tell you the exact amount of time.
Minutes, or you had left the room?
I already stated my answer quite clearly.
So remember this, we lost last year, I think it was more than that, but people don't like saying it because they always said 100,000, 115,000, numbers we've been hearing for years. So we lost last year more than 200,000 people, dead people, ruined families beyond the 200,000. And those 200,000, that family will never be the same. But these people have killed over 200,000 people, actually killed over 200,000 people last year. And those numbers are down. Those numbers are down. They're way down. And they're down because we're doing these strikes, and we're going to start doing those strikes on land, too. The land is much easier. It's much easier. And we know the routes they take. We know everything about them. We know where they live. We know where the bad ones live. And we're going to start that very soon, too.
Mr. President, thank you so much, Mr. President.
And you know what? When we start that, we're going to drive those numbers down so low. And then you're going to have families be able to live without the fear of their son or daughter just having a pill to have a little fun and ending up dying within a period of 60 seconds, right? No, we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let it continue to happen. What Biden did to this country by allowing all these people, and I call them animals in many cases, I think they're animals, to come into our country and destroy our country and let all those drugs pour in, let people just walk across the border like it was nothing. You look at them, a lot of them, you say, oh, let's not discriminate. I'm not talking about color. I'm just talking about you look into the eyes of some of these people. We're smart. And you see a killer. Come on in. Just come on in. 11,888 murderers. Many of them committed more than one murder. He allowed them into our country, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. But he also allowed drugs to come in at record numbers. And hundreds of thousands of people a year died. And we're taking those son of a bitches out,
Those son of a bitches.
For taking your questions. I think this is the most transparent administration I've ever seen.
I'm impressed by these people. I'll tell you, how strong are you? You've been holding it for 2 hours. There are very few physically. There are very few people who could do it. I'm very proud of you. Whoever the hell you are, I have no idea who you are, but you're strong.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, last week, militia groups in Iraq attacked the Christian region's gas field, the largest gas field, which even the U.S. companies invested in the energy sector in the Christian region. And the Christian Prime Minister requested the United States to provide them some sorts of means and defense systems in defending their civilian infrastructure and U.S. investment in the Christian region. Are you willing to providing them this support? And if I had this question, tomorrow the United States is going to open and inaugurate.
Can you speak louder?
Yeah, of course.
Is that possible? You're the most gentle, beautiful voice. You're a gentle person. Go ahead. Just take fewer words and louder.
Yeah, sure. I will repeat my first question. Last week, the Iraqi militia groups attacked one of the largest gas fields in the Christian region of Iraq, which even the U.S. companies have invested in these gas fields.
Yeah.
And then,
are you from Iraq?
I'm from Kurdistan, Iraqi Kurdistan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working for Ruda Media Network. And the Christian region prime minister, he requested the United States to providing them some sort of defense system to defending these gas fields and U.S. investment in the Christian region. Are you willing to helping them?
Well, we'll look at it. I heard about it, and I'm hearing about it more now, frankly. It wasn't at the top of my list. It's a very unusual question, I think, but I assumed you're from the area, and to you it's a very important question, and to me it is also, because people are being killed. I will say this, Iraq has been much different in terms of us than they were prior to us taking out the nuclear capability of Iran. Iran has gone down many, many steps in terms of its fear factor. They were the bully of the Middle East, and they're really not the bully of the Middle East anymore. And Iraq was being bullied by Iran. You know, we had a president that thought it was brilliant to blow them up, and they blew them up, and all of a sudden, instead of having a power that was basically equal to Iran, they had Iran ruling the Middle East for a long period of time. But Iraq, from the day we hit them with those B-2 bombers and knocked out and obliterated, because CNN said, well, maybe it wasn't total obliteration. Well, it turned out it was totally obliteration. It was every single one of those missiles hit its target. It was actually amazing, but it was wiped out, totally wiped out.
It was actually amazing.
I will tell you, Iraq has been a much friendlier place. They talk to us. The Prime Minister actually nominated me, along with about 78 other countries, for the Nobel Prize. I'm the only one that was nominated by almost 100 countries that didn't get it. But that's okay. But I saved a lot of lives. But Iraq nominated us for the Nobel Prize, and that was a great honor. You know, we didn't expect that from Iraq. Iraq has been a much different place since the taking out of Iran the nuclear capability. Yeah, let's get to another question.
The meeting.
Here we go. This guy's a beauty. Go
Secretary
ahead.
Rubio mentioned the meetings ongoing in Russia today. Do you have any update from Mr. Wickoff or Mr. Kushner on that?
No update, because I've been spending too much time with you. I mean, we're spending a lot of time in here. We wanted to do this you talk about being open and transparent. This has to be the most transparent administration in history. We spent a lot of time answering your questions and giving you a lot of good results. I mean, I think everybody here gave you good results. But no, I don't. I will have after I leave here.
But do you hope for a breakthrough, or is it not quite at that stage?
I don't know. Look, I don't know. All I can tell you is that we're trying very hard to save 25 to 30,000 people, mostly men, mostly soldiers, every month. 25,000 to 30,000 soldiers. It's impossible. That's half a stadium. Take a big football stadium. Take half of those people in a stadium, and they're wiped out. They're killed every month. It's crazy. That war is crazy. And it would have never happened with me, and it didn't happen for 4 years.
You just mentioned potential land strikes. Can you elaborate anything on that? Are you talking
Yeah,
about
I'll elaborate. If they come in through a certain country or any country, or if we think they're building mills for whether it's fentanyl or cocaine. I hear Colombia, the country of Colombia, is making cocaine. They have cocaine manufacturing plants, okay? And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much. But yeah, anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
So not necessarily just Venezuela.
No, not just Venezuela, no. Venezuela's been very bad. Venezuela's been really bad in something else, probably worse than most, but a lot of other people do it too. They would send murderers into our country. They would empty their jails into our country. They sent people into our country that we don't want. They sent their drug dealers and their drug people into our country. They sent people from their mental institutions into our country, and we're getting them out. That was bad. That was real bad. And they also sent drugs. Yeah.
I'm Tim Walz, Mr. President. Do you think he should resign over the fraud scandal in his state?
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched J.D. destroy him in a debate. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent, and I had a man and a woman. I thought she was very incompetent too, but now she's leading the field, and I think she's leading the field for the nomination. Anyway, look, that's up to them. That's up to the Democrats. You know, the problem with them is they have really bad policy. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want them to change it necessarily because I want to run against it, whether it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody that's going to probably sitting at this table. Could be a couple of people sitting at this table. Could be a couple of people running together sitting at this table, you know. But I want them to win because we've done a great job for this country, and I want that to be carried forward. And you know, I think we have a tremendous bench, really a tremendous bench. But No, I think that Waltz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him, okay? There's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that, Scott, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
What do you think, chat? Ilhan Omar, is she garbage or not garbage?
These are people that
thumbs
do
up,
nothing
thumbs
but
down.
complain.
Garbage, not garbage. Where's the chat at?
And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Looks like a lot of you think she's garbage. One person said not garbage. Don't know who she is. Well, no opinion then. All right, we are now kind of a little bit in that awkward in between because he was supposed to be chit-chatting at 2 p.m. But also what just happened was the conclusion of this meeting that started at 11:30. The president hosted a cabinet meeting. They did a post-meeting, I guess, journalist pool discussion. And we were supposed to get going with this meeting. The president makes an announcement. So we're waiting on that. Whoa. Oh, wait. This is playing an old one. Hang on. Let me go back to the White House. Let's see what do. They have anything scheduled live? No, they do not. Is anyone seeing anything live? Because he's going to get chit-chatting again. I just don't want to miss out on it. I'm not necessarily seeing a link from here, but I am on the White House. I'm not seeing anything. Videos, shorts, live. No. So it's just that. With the press secretary 23 hours ago, yesterday. No, he teleported. He might have. You never know. Did this trade hit? No, it didn't, unfortunately. I thought on that spike to 31. I guess I need like 33, 34. I'm taking a quick long position on SPX. It almost hit my target. I'm intentionally trying to target $1,500. As you can see, I am in at $7.10. I'm trying to get out at $8.60. So I have 10 going for that 1.5K return. It got really, really close on this pump up here to 32. But I guess I needed something a little bit closer to 33. And what I'm seeing is the fact that the Mag 7 Delta is starting to pick up. The S&P 500 Delta was also picking up. But I guess now we're taking a little bit of a breather. So we're going to see what's going on there. But anyway, we are here if you're just joining in right now, it has not happened yet. The president makes an announcement, 2 p.m. I fully understand that it's already 2:10. He is literally leaving, I guess, the cabinet room and heading to the Roosevelt room, or I don't know if you guys are seeing anything about it. Maybe let me know. What is this one? A promising future today. Michael and Susan Dell announced a $6.25 billion donation to the Trump accounts for 25 million U.S. kids. This will provide 25 million kids with $250 in an investment account on top of the $1,000 provided by the Trump administration for a total of $1,250. Let's assume this $1,250 is invested at birth, age 0, and held in the S&P 500 till the age 60. 10% return, that would turn into $380,000. Wow, talk about a compound reinvestment. Jesus, that is something. Man, and it's all for freebies. It's all for freebies. All right, what else are we seeing? The narco boats, we heard a little bit about that conversation. What else? We had that. No, okay. Let's just see what's going on with Trump. Let's see. We'll look at the top and the latest. Trump says there will be no income tax at some point in the not too distant future.
That at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay.
No income tax. Land strikes. Biden's Christmas versus Trump's Christmas. Okay. This was literally 5 minutes ago before 1 p.m. Eastern at an important full cabinet press conference. Is he bored or is he falling asleep? It looks like he's bored if you ask me, but hey, that's just one man's opinion. Taxes, auto pen, what's this one about? All right, that volume's crazy low. Russian President Putin says Europe's only goal is to prevent U.S. President Trump from achieving peace through negotiations. A promising future. We already read about that. That's 19 hours ago, 2 hours ago. President Trump calls for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates next week. Even Diamond said Powell should reduce rates. Well, we're getting a 25 bips rate cut. We know that. Trump says he now has the Fed candidate down to 77% chance that it is Kevin Hassett. I have a sneaky suspicion that's what this discussion is going to be about today, but I might be completely wrong. Costco is suing Trump for his tariffs. All right. Kevin Hassett leading our ABTC. That is a crypto mining company. All right. I'm not seeing anything at the exact moment. I'm not seeing anything. Are you guys seeing anything in terms of a pending stream? This was supposed to be going down at 2. I keep reloading here. Maybe I need to open up a different one. Let's see if... What is this one? This is the AP. Let's see what... Okay, they're literally just at the White House. So that hasn't started yet. Maybe if we do... This one is right side. So they have it for 215. So they're probably doing that thing where they just keep punting it further and further. So that is, let's just see what happens if we search Trump, maybe Trump live. I'm surprised there's not more news ones who already have a pending stream. Holds final cabinet meeting. We already did that. Trump cabinet meeting. We already know about that. Cabinet meeting. Everyone cares about these cabinet meeting. What is this one? Trump bombshell, migrant crackdown stuns everyone. Trump makes an announcement. Shocking announcement. Shocking. It's so shocking. All right. I guess we're just here. I have 2 streams that I have, the White House one and the AP one. So we're not missing out. The volume's up. If it gets going, we are not going to miss it. We're all just waiting for this meeting right here. 2 p.m. The president makes an announcement. That is what we are waiting on. All right. And I guess, am I seeing anything else here? Here is, I guess, The Fox one. So we have the Fox one, which is pending. We have the AP one, which is just showing us a shot of the White House. And then I'm also on the White House's own page, just in case they get something pending. But I keep reloading, and I'm not seeing anything there. So we're just waiting on that. In the meantime, the market's recovering still a little bit, looking pretty decent, if you ask me. I would love to see this pump maybe up to the 1230 high. Well, while we're here and we have a little bit of time to kill, do you guys remember how that guy was picking on me today? You know, because he's like, you had a losing trade. How could you ever talk about the guy who I think is the best trader in the world? You guys know how I was making fun of that dipshit ICT? And because I literally said, hey, he sucks because he's never, ever made money. And then I had a losing trade. Do you guys remember that? It was literally from this morning. Well, la-ti-da. Guess who's getting the last laugh? Bada bing, bada boom. 1.2K per account. One boom, 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 boom. Not a bad deal. Actually, how much is that? What is the math on that? $18,000. $18,000 right there. Obviously, these are to pass the other evals because today is the last deal of the Apex. Oh, speaking of that, if you're looking to take advantage of it, just so you guys know, you have about 15 hours left. This is the final trading day. It looks like it's going to be ending, I don't know, some point, maybe midnight tonight, whatever that time is. 80% off evals with the code Goonie. And also, like me, if you pass this test and to go see how these ones say PA Apex and then these ones just say Apex. If they start with Apex, that just means that they're still the eval. So I just did a quick degen trade and was able to get those passed. But I will now be able to upgrade them for the pretty cheap, affordable fee of $40 a pop, better than the $140 it used to be. So that deal's still going on. Use that code Goonie if you want to take advantage of it. But anyway, I was able to pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on my accounts with the big buffer, you could see 1.2K on each of those. So I'm pretty sure 15 times 1.2. I'm pretty sure I did the math right. I think that's $18,000. But anyway, how do you feel about Top Step? Hate it. I think the platform's all right. I think Project X is like a giant scam. But I also think the coaches, especially that Coach Dakota guy, I think he's the biggest fucking tool like in this ecosystem. So literally just out of the fact that I think the CEO and the coaches are like just not good people. And the fact that Project X was trying to collude with all these other SIMDA-funded firms to screw us over, I'm just not going to be a fan of that. So I would rather trade on others. And like I said, I'm just generically against the daily loss limit rules. And I understand if you use the one platform, they don't have it. But if you use their other platforms, they do have it. So I didn't like it because of that rule. And then when you do a little bit of looking into it, I just think the guy running the company is a twat, and I think the coaches are horrible. The people attempting to coach you to become a better trader are literally always losing money. And then you realize that maybe they're not trying to teach you to become a better trader because remember, they're paid by Top Step, and Top Step gets paid when you blow out. So to me, the fact that they're even trying to quote unquote do the coaching thing, it doesn't really make sense. And then, so they're either horrible traders or maybe they're good traders that are trying to get you to blow out because they get more money if you blow out. So like, I just don't, it'd be one thing if you didn't have like a gigantic amount of other SIMDA funded firms to pick from. But right now, when you have awesome companies like Apex, Take Profit Trader, and Funded Futures Network, like what's the point? Like there's not even 1 ounce of me that feels it's necessary to somehow get a Top Step account. There's just too many sus things going on. Best trader is Trey's Trade. Everyone knows that. Maybe. That's a hot take. That is very much a hot take. All right. We are still waiting on this to get rocking. It was supposed to be at 2. It's already 2:20. Hopefully it happens somewhat soon because I don't really have much content prepared to talk to you guys about. Market's not really doing much. Where's my positions at? Did my put credit spread ever hit on public? Nope. Still trying to get out at 3 cents, and that's currently the bid. So that one's still in at almost a 75% return, so I'm liking that. So not filled yet, but we're looking somewhat decent. I'll take that money. Hey, I'll take that money. Free $300. Why can't these people keep to a schedule? Dude, I ask myself that all the time. one of the things that I find to be the most irksome about any of this stuff is the fact that these politicians are rarely, if ever, on time. They are just announcing the new Fed chair. That's my guess, but we're not sure. We're not sure. Talk about open door. It's a pump dump. It's a pump and dump scam. You can make money on pump and dumps, but the pump is kind of over. It's seemingly over. And when this starts to break down, it's going to break down really fast. It's a pump and dump scam. This one's being orchestrated by Eric Jackson. It's a pump and dump. Am I an Eagles fan? Yes. And even though the schedule is fine, I mean, we just had that brutal loss to the Bears. That was embarrassing. I don't know. I feel I'm in that weird situation as an Eagles fan where it feels like our schedule results, what are we, 8-4, is somehow like it feels like that's a better result than we kind of deserve. Like, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, back to this open. It's a pump and dump. You can make money on pump and dumps. Obviously, you don't invest in pump and dumps. You can make money on the pump. You can make money on the dump. You can make money on the pump. You can make money on the dump. This is a pump and dump. And when you take these companies that are pump and dumps, eventually gravity wins out. So given enough time, and I bet it goes down. And I mean, we've seen a gazillion of these. It's the same with workhorse, pump, dump. It's all the same thing. Was it PHH? No, that wasn't right. PPH? I don't know. Every so often, you guys, no, that looks like a pharmaceutical. I don't know. There was another random one. There's so many of these. They just happen all the time. They're all just like random ass pump and dumps. I know this is Tom Lee's and you're not allowed to talk bad about Tom Lee, but PMNR looks like a freaking pump and dump if you ask me. It pumped, it dumped, and it's now going nowhere. BYND, Beyond Meat. It tried to be a real business. It just ended up being a horrible business. So now the stock just pumps and it dumps. It's the same shit. What was the other one? Oh, wasn't it Beyond Meat? Wait. The other day on stream, maybe last week. Oh, one stock went crazy, and even by the end of that stream, it was already dying. Like these are all just pump and dumps, folks. They're not real legitimate companies. They trap a lot of retail. Retail gets excited. They're looking at crappy little penny stocks. They think they're going to turn a little bit of money into a lot of bit of money. They chase it, and then it gets dumped on them, and then the little bit of money they have is now just destroyed. It's a pump and dump. We've seen them a lot before, and you're going to probably see them a lot into the future. It's just how it goes. It's very much how it goes. All right. Are they telling us anything yet? I keep coming back to this. I do have the audio on, so I guess if they start, they start. But if you're just joining in now, my apologies. Well, it's not my fault. I don't know why I'm apologizing. We are just waiting for Trump to get going. The discussion was supposed to happen at 2 p.m., so we're already running 23 minutes late. And we're going to see. Thoughts on Tom Lee? Actually, literally just filmed a video about him, and it's coming out later today, so feel free to check that out. I think he's a smart cookie. I think due to his own financial interest, he is forced into being kind of a permabull. And with that being said, though, he's been right a lot. I'm not saying he's 100% right, but he definitely does make some impressive call-outs that end up becoming reality. What's your take on Webull? It's fine. I like the UI, the UX, but I think public is the best place to trade stocks and options just because of how it's set up. Remember, Webull is not a US company. It's a Chinese company, and they also engage in payment for order flow. They don't care about you, the trader, as a client. It's literally a Chinese company that's engaging in payment for order flow. So if you think that there's something that's going to go awry and then all of a sudden they're going to have your back, what, were you born last night? Like, no. It's a Chinese company that engages in payment for order flow. So Webull, I give it to them. They had good UI and UX design. I can't take that away. They have very good UI and UX. But if shit were ever to hit the fan, they're not going to have your back. That's for sure. Very good rule of thumb for Trump is to be actually 1 hour late. Save yourself some time. Well, we'll find out. It's also not Trump. Biden did this all the time. And before that, Trump did that all the time. And before that, Obama did. Like, it's just like, it's a presidential thing or it's a politics thing. This is how they go. They don't really stick to their schedule. So is Robinhood. Well, Robinhood engages in payment for order flow, but at least they're based in the U.S. It is a U.S. company. So that is a little bit better. Why do Apex, if you have the money to just trade yourself? To make more money? I don't know. If you're going to make a 10% return, wouldn't you want the 10% return to be on a bigger... Okay, here's a math problem for you. If you're making a 10% return, would you rather a 10% return on $100,000, as in you're making 10K, or would you rather a 10% return on $1 million, where you make $100,000? I don't know. That's kind of like a basic math question. More money so I can buy more shit. Bill Clinton was known for being on time. Maybe, but he probably did that before YouTube was even a thing, so that's not going to impact my life. Do you know if Public ever intends to add more advanced charts into their app? I use TradingView, so it's fine, but most people don't. I have no idea. I don't get to make those decisions, but just use TradingView. Matt can't do futures because his blow-up risk is too high. What are you talking about? It would actually be easier to do my own futures because wouldn't have to worry about a 2K drawdown. Like the fact that on most of these on a 50, if I were to fund my own 50K account, I wouldn't lose it on a 2K drawdown. I wouldn't lose it if I went up 2K and came back to break even. It's actually arguably easier to trade because you're not going to break one of those other arbitrary rules, but then the risk is also higher. You're going on tilt risk. Are you drunk? What the fuck are you talking about? I have that. Are you drunk right now? You sound fucking stupid. I have that risk. Technically, we all have the risk of whatever money you put in your account. Of course, that's your risk by definition. That's how trading accounts work. Dude, it's only 2 p.m. Get off the bottle, man. Like, at least wait till the market closes. Jesus. Which Apex account do you pick? Wealthchart, Rhythmic, or using Tradeovate? I use Tradeovate. I like Tradeovate over Rhythmic just because of certain technical issues, but I can't comment on Wealthchart because I've never used Wealthchart. So it might be good. I just have no personal experience. You have videos where you break all your rules and go on huge tilt. Yes, with SIM-funded accounts because the downside risk is what I put on my credit card. Dude, are you drunk right now? Like, honestly. Does this, like, not compute? It blows my mind how some people just don't understand, like, legitimate basic math. All due respect. Yeah, with all due respect, are you retarded? I tried Vanquish a couple months ago using the Goonie code. Do you feel better supporting the Apex company or do you finally get paid? No, they're two completely different things. One is for trading futures and the other is trading for options. So it depends on the derivative you want to trade. I use both because sometimes I'm trading options and sometimes I'm trading futures. And then sometimes I'm using, I got screwed by Vanquish. I highly doubt you got screwed. Did you just not follow the rules? Like, you could say that if you're a great trader on either of these, it's going to work out on any of them. I shouldn't even say either because there's far more than two. But I highly doubt they screwed you. It's probably you broke their drawdown rule, and options can even move faster than futures, so it could get crazy. It could get really, really crazy. Bitcoin obviously having a good day. The SPY, we're just getting gamma pinned right now at this point. 15. Shit, I'm not at a good level. I don't like where I'm at on mine. Oh. Do you scream while wearing that helmet in the grocery store? Yeah. And how did you know that I wear a helmet into the grocery store? Matt, you're you drunk, bucko. What? Matt, you're you drunk. Dude, if you guys had to read all the shit that I have to read in here and try to put together what these sentences mean, you'd lose your mind. Matt, you're you Matt, you're you, drunk bucko. What the fuck does that mean? Matt, you're you, drunk bucko. Matt, you're you. You're you. My you is drunk bucko. That doesn't make sense. That's not Spanish. That doesn't make sense. A bunch of gobbledygook, if you ask me. A bunch of freaking gobbledygook. Matt, you're you, bucko. Rum's over 7. Rum's getting a pump. Talk about, oops. Don't look at that. Don't look at my accessibility. Rum got a nice pump there, up 4.3%. That's a legit short squeeze candidate. It really is. I mean, it's just been getting shorted to hell, and now that the stock's going up, obviously on a relative basis, that's putting pressure on the shorts. But the short interest is coming in at 25%. Cost to borrow is average is 31. Utilization is maxed out. Short score is 86. There's Ortex is estimating 27 million, but potentially as high as 54 million. The days to cover is 7.7 days, and the short interest is estimated to be at 184, but it could be as high as like $340 million. It's definitely, I mean, I don't know if it's going to squeeze. I hope it squeezes. I think that would be awesome for a Rumble, but it's slowly but surely climbing. There's definitely money betting against this one. Am I late? Did Trump speak? No. We are all awkwardly waiting on Trump to get rocking here. We are all awkwardly waiting. Awkwardly waiting. I do have the audio on. We're not going to miss it. They haven't even started this one. And the audios, you're going to hear it. I'm going to hear it. We're not missing it. It's just, we're just waiting. Waiting. That's a little bit of a pump. Did that trade ever hit for me? No. In fact, I'm actually down. Golly. Hey, golly. I did sell some premium that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of. What did I sell today? Ooh, I don't like that. I sold the 20 and I protected myself with the 15. I should have sold the 15 and protected myself with the 10. I'm off by a rung and I don't like this setup. What time is it? 2:32. I don't like what I did there. I kind of need this breakout to like actually hold and ideally get a pump maybe up to 40 or something where I could get the hell out of this position because it's not looking good. I need this to really get 32. Even to 37, I might be ditching on that. Anyway, that's a play that I put into the Discord. All right, are we missing anything here? Actually, before I see, are there specific questions on Apex or Take Profit Trader or Funded Futures Network or Vanquish? I know that many of you fully understand what's going on, or at least mostly understand what's going on, but of course there's always new people, and the fact that sometimes you can make a lot of money, it generally brings up a lot of questions. But anyway, here's my accounts. I want to be clear, these are evals. These ones, 3K, 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 those are not performance accounts. I cannot get paid from it. That is just me passing the test. You need to make $3,000 of profit without having a 2K drawdown. That's how you pass this test. The PA ones, 1 through here, these 15 are performance accounts. And if I do well trading and trade enough days and this, that, and the other thing, that's where I could get payouts. And they all started at 50K. So this was me passing the test, but they're not going to help me in terms of payout. Tomorrow, there'll be PAs. And then coming to this, you can see I'm up $76,000 per. I'm up 26,000 because they're trading at 76. So in total, I'm up whatever 26 times 15 is. And I started these accounts on October 20th. Or I bought them on the 20th and maybe then I started trading them the 21st, something like that. But if I'm up 26,000 and I have 15 of them, I'm up $390,000. Live trailing drawdown is dog shit. That's only for the first 2K. That only trails till you fill out the buffer. So like for me right now, it's not trailing me anymore. That only trails while you're following the buffer. But anyway, just to answer that one specific question, but on the ones that start with PA, I have 15 of them. Like I said, I'm up. How long of trading is that? How many trading days do I have? How many? I guess I can log in because it does tell you your amount of trading days. Is it going to make me do that auth thing? No. How many trading days? Payouts. Request payout. Trading day. So today's 25. Today's the 25th trading day. Because I'm looking at it. No, that's not right. That's not right at all. How many trading days do I have? How do you know where does it quickly tell you how many trading days you have? Active PAs. View PA chart. Do I have to count these individually? Oh, no, right. I have 29 trading days. 30, 31. No. Today is my 30th day. Trading days, not calendar days, trading days. 30, 31, 32. So yeah, today is my 30th trading day. So in 30 trading days, I've made $390,000. And 30 trading days calendar-wise is about a month and a half. Like I said, I bought these on October 10th or 20th, excuse me. So in 30 actual trading days, that's a pretty solid return, if I do say so myself. Matt, when did you switch off of Rhythmic for Tradeovate? A while ago. So they spot you the first 50K each and you get to keep all the profits. I know that can't be right. It's not exactly like that because it's still technically sim to funded trading. They're not like actually giving you 50K to trade and then that is actually going to the market. They're giving you 50K of sim money to trade. And then if you do well, they pay you out and they pay you out from all the other people failing at the test. And you can get the payouts, but to get the payouts per account, I can only take out 2K every 8 days. So it's not like I can go take all this money out right now. So I could, as of Thursday market close, I can request another 2K per account. You can request 2K on a 50K account every 8 trading days. After you do that 6 times, after 6 cycles, you can then at that point take out all of the money. That you could take out all the profit is what I should say. So for me right now, yes, I want to grow the account and keep growing it. But the most I can do is on Thursday, take out 2K per account, $30,000 because I have 15 accounts. And then another 8 days past that, I could take out another 2K. 8 days past that, I could take out another 2K. And I could do that until 6 cycles. And then on the 7th one, I could take out all of the profit. So this is like leverage trading. It's trading futures and futures are already naturally leveraged. Yeah. So like the way there's equity trading, the way there's crypto trading, the way there's options trading, there's also a thing called futures trading. And this is sim to funded futures trading. Apex trader funding. Yeah. So I think if you scroll down, it shows you what you're allowed to trade, but it's all futures contracts. So right here, yeah, you could trade the S&P 500 futures, the Nike futures, the NASDAQ futures, the mini Dow futures, the mid-cap futures, the Russell futures. So these are all the things, but it's all futures: equity futures, currency futures, ag futures, energy, metal, micro, additional instruments, Eurex. Like it's all futures contracts. And by definition, most futures, or I think all of them, are like highly levered. Highly levered. How much do these accounts cost? So I just got right now with the current deal, you can get 80% off. The account will cost you $35. That's for the eval though. Then you pass the eval. And then when you pass the eval to upgrade to a performance account, which is where you can get real money, that's $40. So you could be all in for like $75. I really need to study all this. Been watching for years. It seems I still have no clue what I'm doing. My discipline sucks. I have a lot of standalone videos that you can watch for free that explains not only what this is, how to pass the test, trading strategies to grow your performance accounts. I have a lot and it's just free. They're just out there. Just go to the channel. It's on Rumble. It's on YouTube. They're out there. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. So why not have 100 accounts, big dog? Because you can only have 20. They cap you at 20 on Apex. Take Profit Trader caps you at 5. Tradeify caps you at 5. Funded Futures Network caps you at 5. The firms themselves cap you. So I did max it out. I have 5 evals, and then I have 15 performance. 15 plus 5 is 20. That's that. I wish I had more. I wish I could do 40. If you could do 100, I would be doing 100 without a doubt. It's just I've already maxed out what they allowed me to do. So I wish they would let the kids play. Do they give you access to TraderVate or do you pay for it? No. That's in the initial fee. That's what you're paying for, basically. So it's $35 per month. It's $35 per month, but you're going to pass or fail the test within the first month. So you could basically think of it as a one-time fee. Technically, if you're taking forever to pass or fail, then you would get billed again. But I either pass or fail within the first day. I'm either going for it or I'm not going for it because I don't want to waste time. But technically, you would get billed again. But the performance, once you upgrade it, that's a lifetime fee. So that's only, so it's $35 for the eval for the test. And if you don't pass or fail, technically you would get billed again a month later. But most people either do or don't pass in the first day. And then when you upgrade it from performance or from eval to performance, that is currently a lifetime fee, as in you only play it once. Is it per month per account? Yes. Use your wife's name for 20 more. Hey, you didn't hear it from me. I know I need to watch those videos, but let me understand. If it's not real money, but you can take profits from other people who failed or blown out. Yeah, because everyone's paying a fee to take the test, and so many people suck at trading that they're taking the money from that to pay off the few people who are actually good at trading. That's also why if you trade really, really well, like I'm talking to the point you have $1 million, a 1.5 or $2 million payout, like when you get a big payout, you're not allowed to use the platform. They just ban you. It's kind of like a casino. If you make a lot of money playing blackjack, they just don't let you play blackjack anymore. This is no different. There are people who have gotten $1 million, a 1.5, a $2 million payout. I think the highest ever is like 2.2, maybe 2.3 million. They pay you out, and then they just don't let you use the service again. It is literally no different than what happens if you're counting cards when playing blackjack. They'll let you play for a little bit, and then when you take them for too much money, they just don't let you play again. Out of curiosity, what are the benefits of sim versus actual trading? Minimize risk. So the risk in sim trading is you're only risking what you put on your credit card bill. So for example, if you take the eval for $35, that is your max risk. You're never going to lose more than that. So it's a way to cap your risk. And then obviously with actual trading, most likely you're funding your trading account with more than $35, so you have more risk. Goes to show they want traders to fail. Well, of course they want you to fail. That's the whole point of it. Casinos want you to fail. Yeah. Sorry, I don't understand. Sorry, I thought that was Siri yelling at me. I thought Trump was about to start talking, but we are just, what is going on, dude? This was supposed to happen. Come on, dude. Does anyone have an update of when this is going? He was supposed to be on 43 minutes ago. We're almost pushing a full hour. What is the cap for Vanquish? There is no cap. They don't really put on caps and that type of stuff from what I've seen until people start doing exceptionally well. So it's more of the market and the quality of trader that starts to actually like update it. Wait, someone said that they updated the schedule to say 3 p.m. No, what? It says 2 p.m. Says scheduled for 3 now. Where does it say that? I don't know where if you're talking about a stream, that's just decided by the person who loaded up this file. That doesn't have anything to do with the actual president. What was this question? Isn't it better with someone who just gives leverage on normal account? Isn't it better with someone? I don't know what this question is. Right side broadcast. Yeah, they're updating it themselves. That has nothing to do with the like actual president. They just keep punting the starting time of the stream. I do that all the time with my streams. Matt, Time for the real hard-hitting question. Bone in or boneless chicken wings? I will judge you. Oh, for sure better with the bones in. The wings are way, way better. Obviously, it's not as easy to eat, so you're going to have a more difficult time. But I would say that the quality of the food is worth it. Is it better to make profits or losses? That's a great question, man. One of these days, we're going to get to the bottom of it. You have 1K and they give you 10K to invest. Kind of. It's more like you give them $35 and then pass a test and then give them $40 and then they give you a simulated $50,000 account. And if you do well, they'll give you actual payouts and they're betting that you're not going to do well and they just keep your credit card payment. I think you're kind of like overcomplicating the explanation of it. It is sim to funded. Sim, as in simulated, as in you're trading in a simulated environment. So it's the real market data, but your trades aren't actually hitting the market. They are betting in on this fake sim count that you do not do well. You blow out the account, they keep your money. If you trade well, they'll give you the actual payouts. It's like not that hard to wrap your mind around. They're just betting that most retail traders are shitty traders, and it happens to be that that's a true bet for most people. It happens that that is a very good bet for most traders. Most traders cannot trade well. Come on, Spy, you can do it. It feels like it's just getting pinned right below 682. Maybe we get a pump up to 40. There is some negative gamma all the way up here. Then there's support at 15. Mag 7's picking up a little bit. Spy was picking up a little bit, but then it dropped. Matt, 5K payout. Oh, hell yeah, Jay Hundo. Hell yeah. Most people should never lose these sim to trading platforms. You'll lose money. Oh, I fully disagree. Most people will lose money because most people suck at trading, but you're going to lose less money than funding your own account. So I don't agree with that at all. I think it is a financially safer way for you to figure out what your trading strategy is, and in a general sense, if trading is for you or not. And then if it is, you can prove it to yourself by getting actual payouts. And then if you do well, you use those payouts to fund your own account. So like, I fully disagree with you that people shouldn't use it. I do agree with you that most are going to blow out, but I would rather when people blow out that they do less financial harm to themselves. Why slippage if it's not actually hitting the book? Because it's still going off real orders, like of real books. Like we know where trades are going through. We can track the bid and the ask. You could also do that with paper accounts. Yeah, but then there's no upside and there's no downside. You're missing out. There's no downside risk and there's no upside potential with pure paper accounts. This is basically paper accounts with a little bit of downside and also a little bit of upside. And if you do super well, the little bit of upside could be a lot of bit of upside. But with paper trading, you're not getting the same emotional investment. Based on the statistics of our failure rate collectively, simply to funded is a perfect business model. What? I'm really hoping these people aren't serious. I have a feeling that they are. Can you swing trade futures like options? You can, but not on a sim to funded account. Sim to funded accounts are just for day trading. You have to be out by 5 p.m. Eastern every day. Matt, can you use Apex during all futures hours, like Sunday night? Yeah. If the Globex session is open, you could trade. So from Sunday night at 6 p.m. to Friday night at 5 p.m., excluding that 1 hour break from basically Monday all the way to Friday from that period of 5 to 6 p.m. But you're not allowed to have a position on when the market turns off for the day, as in 5 p.m. Eastern. That 1 hour break, you cannot have a position on. There are sim to funded accounts where you can swing. I didn't know about that. But the swinging doesn't really matter because for futures, it's literally just a 1 hour market shutdown. Oh, Someone said he is live over here. Says it'll begin shortly. Thank you for that call out. Rum is looking good. Bitcoin's holding 92. SPY's getting a little bit of a pop there. I really wonder if I need to manage my position because we're almost going into power hour. I have a position that is slightly green. I'm nervous about it. Slightly green. Oh, I don't know what to do. Speaking of slightly green, this position's almost back. Come on, hit it. Oh, hell yeah. Did it fill completely? Yeah. Look at that. Perfect time to start this meeting. Up 1.5K. Realize this is SIMDA funded, but for options trading. So that's why I use Vanquish, SIMDA funded, trading with someone else's money for options. This is trading with someone else's money for futures. So just different products. I use them both. I like them both. I just use them at different times for different reasons, but obviously excited to lock in that 1.5K. He almost got going here. We're pumping on this. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. All right, I need to make a decision. If you are... Oh, orders... I don't know if I can risk this because he might say something that's not so good for me. All right, I'm throwing in an order, a little bit of a reach order. Let's see if I can get out of this one. Are they starting over there? Not quite. We're almost getting... All right, I might as well shut this down because there's no point in me still trading over there. Options flow is picking up into this. SPY just picked up into that. Oh, I don't know what to do with this play. I don't know. What time is it? Oh, we're almost in power hour. I don't love the idea of having this position. I sold some SPX premium early this morning. I sold the 6820 by the 6815, and I'm finally green. And I have an order to get out. Matt, any codes or sales you have for that? Basically, if it's coming from me, you could always try that code GOONIE. So for any of these platforms in the world of trading, GOONIE will work. For Vanquish, for Apex, I keep my code consistent across all of them. It just makes life a lot easier. But code GOONIE, give that the old college try. Dude, I just want to get out of this position so bad. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Oh, brother, what's he going to be announcing? It's pumping into it, so the market is front running it. It might be the Kevin Hassett thing. We're hearing awkward paper shuffling around. I have 3 streams ready to go. We're getting a little bit of a pump about 2 to 3 minutes ago. What are we doing there, brother? What in tarnation? Do I have my order in just in case it goes my favor? Orders working. It's in. And it says working. You'd think with the time decay, it would be helping me because the gamma levels aren't so much. Honestly, this might be going right to this major level. See what it just tagged? It tagged the giant negative gamma node at 40. How high did we just pump? Did we actually hit 40? We hit 39 and change. So if you're wondering, why did we randomly stop right there? Well, it's because we ran into this giant negative gamma wall. And then there is a positive gamma wall beneath us at 6,815. So if we don't hang out here, if we start to turn, there's a real shot of going back down to 15. So please be mindful of that because we're right up this wall. Probably there's a lot of traders who are mistakenly thinking 6,850 is a reasonable test. But in terms of major gamma levels, it is clearly 6,840. Clearly 6,840. So I'm hoping it can get that pop above this. Oh, rip it.
Nice to see you again. That was a long news conference we had before, wasn't it? Yeah, but it was a good
The
one.
volume is so low.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and we're thrilled to be joined by one of the most successful business leaders and people anywhere in the country, whether it's technology, no matter what business you're talking about, there's really nobody quite like him. He's chairman and CEO of Dell Technologies. Make great everything, great computers, great everything.
All right, so he's
Michael
with the Dell guy.
Very much of a legend who's here.
The mic
with
is super low. My
really
apologies.
exciting
I haven't jacked it up.
So amazing, and much more importantly, he's here with his wonderful wife, Susan, and they have a special relationship. I think I can say that, really. It's very nice. I don't see too much of it. I see the opposite, but I don't see too much. I have two special people, and I've seen that. I've known that for a long time, and I think it's a tremendous thing. Also, the CEO of Altimer Capital, Brad Gerstner. Where are you, Brad? Brad Gerstner is a terrific fellow who's very much involved in this incredible thing that we're doing today, along with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Treasury Secretary, Scott Besson, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Commerce and Science and Transportation, Ted Cruz, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, Vice Chairman of the House Republican Conference, Blake Moore, as well as the Chief Design Officer of the United States Airbnb co-founder, Joe Gebbia.
Does this
I
work?
want to thank you all for being here. It's a great group. And I guess a potential Fed chair is here, too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential.
Did that help?
Respected person that I can tell you. Thank you. I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin. Today is Giving Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's heard that one before, but it is indeed Giving Tuesday. One of the biggest days of the year for philanthropy and charitable giving. And this afternoon, Michael and Susan Dell are committing to one of the largest private donations in American history, which will directly benefit the next generation of American children through the new Trump Accounts program that we created in our One Big Beautiful Bill. And Michael and Susan came to see me along with Brad, and they said, this is an idea. And I said, I think, it's just so good and so unique. But that's why he's been so successful, and they've been so successful in life and in business because they're unique. Trump Accounts will be the first, I guess you could say, real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18. So in other words, these are children that are going to, an investment's going to be made. That investment's going to continue to grow, we hope, right? We hope. And, but it will. And they'll feel like Michael Dell someday. But at 18, they'll have a lot of money, a lot more money than they would have had, and potentially a lot of money. But these accounts will track the overall stock market and will be 100% private property controlled by the child's guardians. In honor of America's 250th anniversary, the Dells are announcing today that they are giving 25 million American children $250 each to save and to invest in their personal Trump account. Now, that's the equivalent of $6.25 billion. In other words, to put it succinctly, Michael and Susan are giving $6,250,000,000 in total, and as a total contribution. That's big stuff. I don't care who you are. That's big. Come here, give me a hand. Let me have a little of that luck rub off. That's fantastic, Susan. These gifts will be available to the first 25 million children aged 10 and under the zip codes where their median income is $150,000 or less. So they're giving them to children that won't be born particularly rich, and they're going to be hopefully very rich someday. This will give millions of dollars, millions of children, middle-class families a stake in American prosperity, a benefit from the rising stock market, and a better shot at the American dream. It really gives them a shot at the American dream. Michael and Susan, I want to thank you for this extraordinary act of kindness and patriotism and charity. This is truly one of the most generous acts in the history of our country. I mean, you don't hear about things like that, and we got to let people know he doesn't want and she doesn't care about that. But I do. I think when somebody does that, you got to let them know about it. As I mentioned, this gift is being made possible by the largest tax cuts in American history, which our Republican majorities passed earlier this year, and the Speaker worked so hard, and John Thune and Jason and all of them, every one of them. Ted Cruz is with us. He worked so hard getting that done. That was the biggest, most consequential bill they say ever passed. And, if they remember, Michael, they thought we had to put that in 12 to 14 bills. I said, I don't know if we can hold it that long with the Democrats. And we said, let's try doing it once. So we did, and people were surprised, but we got it done. So I congratulate you guys. Amazing job. Under that bill, the federal government will also automatically be making a one-time seed contribution of $1,000 into the tax-deferred Trump accounts for every newborn U.S. citizen, fulfilling a promise I made in the 2024 campaign. Trump accounts should grow to be worth many thousands of dollars by the time the child is 18, and even more by the time they are 20 or even 30 years old. We think it's going to be something really unique and really special. We hope many others will follow Michael and Susan's example and make their own contributions. I'll be doing it too, to the next generation, including businesses, churches, philanthropists, family members, and parents themselves. I think we're going to have a lot of people, Susan. I think a lot of people are going to be contribute. A lot of people are watching us right now. They might not be $6 billion plus, but there'll be a lot. There aren't too many people that are in the 6 billion range, but there'll be a lot. A lot of friends of mine have already told me they're going to contribute a lot of money, and a lot of them are going to leave a lot of money in their wills, so that's very important. And as you watch us today, I hope you'll be doing that. Contributions to Trump accounts will also be a great benefit for employers to offer their workers, which they'll be able to do tax-free. It's tax-free. We expect hundreds of major companies to announce plans to contribute to these accounts in the coming months, and we've had tremendous interest in that regard. So the Trump accounts will be available starting on July 4th next year.
July 4th.
And Michael and Susan, to you again, it's an amazing act of just incredible everything. I mean, the life you've led to be able to do this, even to be able to, a lot of people have a good heart, but they can't give $6,250,000,000. And Michael, probably knowing you, it's not the last of it either. It's not the last. But on behalf of the United States of America, I want to thank you both, and I want to thank all three. But I want to thank you both because you've been friends of mine, and it's a spectacular couple. This is really an amazing people. These are unique. And I'd like to have you come up and say a couple of words and tell us what you have in mind, because what you have in mind is good. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to be with you here in the White House. And, when you passed the Invest America Act on July 4th of this year, we were really inspired to see that happen. And this is something that, Brad had first mentioned to us in 2021.
We thought it was a great idea then, and it's amazing that it happened. And we also saw that this act would become a platform. And we believe the smartest investment that we can make is an investment in children. And this act has created a platform for families and friends and communities and companies and philanthropists to contribute to these accounts to create a savings and opportunity and hope and prosperity for tens of millions of children in this country. And Susan and I are super excited to announce our $6.25 billion gift to 25 million American children.
It's so much money.
10 and under, and our gift will cover most of the children that are 10 and under that are not part of the federal program, the 0 to 2-year-olds, and who also live in zip codes where the median income is $150,000 or less. And I have spoken with a number of other wealthy Americans, philanthropists, and we are confident that others will join us because we all understand the incredible impact that a gift like this can have on the lives of young Americans. So again, it's a great honor for us to be here to be able to announce this. When I was 8 years old, I got a passbook savings account, and I had, I think, about $8 in it. And you go to the savings and loan, and you give them a quarter, and they'd stamp your account. And I got to see the power of compound interest early in my life. And that has brought me here to this moment. And hopefully will inspire that kind of opportunity for many more young people in this country. So again, thank you for the privilege of being here.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Susan. So beautiful. Thank you very much. Susan, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say how excited we are to be a part of this. We believe that when children have a future that they can see is worth saving for, then that will help build hope and opportunity and prosperity for generations to come. So we're so excited to be doing this and hope to have many people join in our efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. So beautiful. Brad,
well, first, it's an incredible honor to be here, and we wouldn't be here without the passage of the Invest America Act. And everybody up here today played a role in getting that done. The Speaker, Ted Cruz, in drafting the legislation so that when the President placed the call to the Speaker and said, let's make this happen in the big, beautiful bill, Congress was ready to act. They had the legislation drafted. But I couldn't be more grateful for the friendship and the partnership of the Dells that really show the best of America. Today is Giving Tuesday, right? And the fact of the matter is, for decades, we've talked about the wealth gap. We've talked about too many people left out and left behind. This president was elected on a Main Street agenda to get the rest of America into the game. And that's exactly what this does. It gets every American child, 3.7 million children born every year, will now start life off with an investment account, seeded with $1,000. And then you're going to have great philanthropists, great Americans like Michael and Susan, who are going to add money to those accounts. We're overwhelmed with the number of companies that want to contribute to these accounts. Already companies from Uber to NVIDIA, T-Mobile to Charter Communications, Dell, et cetera, the list goes on. And every day more companies are calling us, raising their hands and saying, we want to be part of this. It's like a 401k from birth. It's a benefit for the kids of our employees, right? Major philanthropists. But I think what this is going to unlock is the power of families. Moms and dads Venmoing and Apple Paying and $5, $10, right? And getting these kids into the game. When we had the roundtable at the White House earlier this year, Dara Khosrowshahi, the CEO of Uber, said, after fleeing Iran at the age of 9 with nothing, he came to America because it was the land of hope. And he said what the Invest America Act does is it bottles up hope for every child in America. Whether you're in rural Mississippi or rural Indiana, where I came from, inner city Trenton or Compton, you're now in the game. right? That act alone, I think, reinvigorates the American dream. It reinvigorates the idea of free market capitalism. Too many people are losing faith in you, sir. By passing the Invest America Act and getting all these kids into the game, this is a transformational act in this country forevermore. Every child starts off life in the game with a piece of the American dream compounding in the upside of America. So thank you for having us here.
I think the secretary first.
Oh, good.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I think this is a major change in philanthropy and for American working families. It is the merging of President Trump's agenda of parallel prosperity, Main Street meets Wall Street. For the next 5 years, every child born in the U.S. will get a $1,000 Trump account that will be with them and compound for the next 18 years. Treasury Department with other branches of government is going to do financial literacy, and we are going to make sure that all American families have a stake in the success of the United States of America. So every day when the stock market goes up or down, and we believe over the 18 years it will go up and families will learn the power of compounding, that it will be a game changer. People who have a stake in the system and become more and more vested in the system, they do not want to bring down the system, they want to make it better. So I think we will look back on today and know that these Trump accounts, they have started a new age of the capitalism and market interest for the whole country. I also think that it is a game changer, as we're seeing with Michael and Susan Dell today, that Americans are the most generous people in the history of the world, and the Trump accounts will provide a vehicle for philanthropists such as Michael and Susan and many more to contribute. And at Treasury, we are working, so Michael and Susan want to do it for children born in the past 10 years, a certain income level. As Brad said, it can be tailored, it can be to employees. It could be a philanthropist could adopt a state, they can adopt a school, they can adopt a zip code, they can adopt a street. And so we will constantly see these accounts be topped up. For those of you on the Treasury, will be running this on the operational side. For those of you who would like to, you can go to trumpaccounts.gov today and see the homepage that has a basic outline. These will become operational on July 5th of this year. And we will have families start signing up for them. So, and that homepage will answer all the questions on eligibility and investments. And then finally, today we're here on Giving Tuesday. Michael and Susan have led the way, but I think that there's a chance that every Tuesday can become Giving Tuesday as more and more philanthropists see the power of this, of giving to American families, giving to American children, and giving everyone a stake in our great economy. So thank you very much.
I'll be brief. There's a lot of symbolism here today. Right here on the eve of the 250th anniversary of the greatest nation in the history of the world. We are the greatest nation by any objective measure. We're the most free, most powerful, most successful, and most benevolent nation that's ever been. And I think what you're seeing here is another exhibit of that. This idea, this vision came about because Brad and a couple of smart guys came up with this idea and then took a few years to sell the idea to everybody. And then these visionary legislators over here, Senator Ted Cruz and Blake Moore in the House and Jason Smith, the Ways and Means Chair, really caught the vision. And we put it into the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We've been saying all along that was drafted to really help lower and middle class earners in America. And this is one of the great features. One of the perils of having the big, beautiful bill and having it all in there together, the president and I have talked about many times, is that there's so many great things in that legislation, we don't have enough time to talk about all of it. So we need a moment to really focus on this. Giving Tuesday is a perfect time to do it. And it's absolutely perfect, I think, that July 5th becomes the operational date right after the nation's birthday. So what we're going to see here is a model that I don't think anyone has done anywhere in the world. They wouldn't have the capability to do it. They wouldn't have philanthropists and great Americans with big hearts like this who've earned their way and really fulfilled the American dream. And they have a vision and a desire for more and more people to do that. And so now more and more Americans will. It kind of evens the playing field in a way, right? And everybody has an opportunity. So we're just excited to be a part of it, grateful to the vision, grateful to a president who leads from the front, who understands the potential of something like this. And this will be one of the many marquee achievements of the Trump administration. This will be one that people remember for a long, long time. And I think it can change the country. So
honestly,
thanks,
it is
Mr. President.
Cool
thanks, Brad, all of you for being part. Thank you to the Dell. It's really amazing.
Involved
Thank you. Sure.
earlier.
Ted, please.
Like, it really is a cool idea.
Well, I want to congratulate all the men and women up here. And, Mr. President, I think objectively on the merits, the case can be made that there has never been a president who's had a greater positive impact on the children of America than you have. And in particular, in this one big, beautiful bill, I think the two most long-lasting and far-reaching provisions are, number one, the school choice provision that you signed into law that is going to unleash tens of billions of dollars to scholarships to low-income kids all over the country and is going to change the lives of millions of kids. And the second provision is this provision right here, the Trump accounts. These Trump accounts, starting on July 4th, every child in America will have a personal investment account opened for them. Newborn children will have it seeded with $1,000. Parents and family and employers can contribute up to $5,000 a year in a tax-advantaged account. That money will be invested in the S&P 500 in the stock market, broad-based equity index account. Two massive benefits that change this country. Number one, every child in America will experience the benefits of compound growth. Take a little girl born next year. She's born next year. She has the account opened for her. $1,000 is automatically seeded. Her parents, her family, or an employer puts $5,000 a year each year into that account. If you assume the historic rate of growth of the S&P 500, which is 7% a year, by the time that little girl is 18, she will have $170,000 in that account.
7% is not the right average.
By the time that little girl is 35, she will have $700,000 in that account. That is game-changing, and we're not talking the children of Michael and Susan Dell, the children of Donald Trump, the children of people of great success. We're talking the kids of a single mom waiting tables who could have $700,000 saved by the time she's 35 to get an education, to start a business, to buy a house. That changes their whole lives. But the second benefit, and what I'm really excited about, is we are creating a new generation of capitalists. Every child in America is going to be an owner of the biggest employers in this country. We've all seen the sad statistics of how many kids are losing faith in capitalism. Well, 10 years from now, a little boy is going to pull out his phone and he's going to look at his app and he's going to see his Trump account. And instead of thinking of big, bad, scary corporations, that little boy is going to say, I own $50 of Apple. I own $100 of Dell. I own $75 of McDonald's. And every child is an owner of the biggest employers in this country. That will transform this country.
Why so much
Mr.
McDonald's?
President, thank you for signing it. Let me say, Brad, this would not be a law if Brad Gerstner did not pursue it with absolute dogged determination, relentless. I've gotten calls and texts from Brad at 6 a.m. and at 2 a.m. You may sleep less than the president, Brad, and that is a remarkable thing because I don't think he sleeps at all. And finally, I'll just say to Michael and Susan, incredible Texans, $6.25 billion is extraordinarily generous. Let me say, on behalf of 25 million kids who just got a gift from Michael and Susan, and it's not a gift of a video game, it's not a gift of a bicycle, it's an investment in their future. That changes their lives, and I hope and believe Michael and Susan are going to inspire millions across the country to do the same thing. When Congress passed Section 401k of the ERISA, I don't know that anyone realized how much it would change retirement plans. There's now trillions of dollars in 401k plans. They're going to be trillions of dollars in these. These are 401ks for kids. And Mr. President, these Trump accounts exist because you signed them. Thank you for your leadership. It's an honor to work with you.
401ks for kids. What's next? Cigarettes for kids? Alcohol for kids?
Perfect.
Fireworks?
Thank you. First, I would just want to thank Michael and Susan for the kind gift. What you all have done will be transformational for 25 million kids. And a lot of people we can thank for the provisions in this big, beautiful bill, but there is no one to thank greater than President Donald Trump. And I'll tell you this, out of every executive I've ever worked with, there's no one that's been more engaging, no one that has been more involved. And the only reason why these investment accounts
for kids
are in the big, beautiful bill is because he helped convince other members of Congress that this is a good idea. This has been something that has been discussed for a long time, but no one could ever get it passed. But who helped get it passed was Donald Trump. I can tell you that from day one throughout the process. And so that's going to affect millions of kids in their futures.
Holy comb over Batman.
Thank you. I was not planning or prepared to speak today, but the gravity of the situation is not lost on me. I have 4 boys of my own, 13 and under, and on the heels of a $6 billion announcement, I hope that doesn't go without some major headlines, that I will be making an announcement of my own that I will be contributing $60 to each one of my children's accounts today. Actually, to try to bring some levity to that, every parent, every grandpa and grandma can now look and say, I can get my grandkid this little toy or something, and maybe that's going to continue to happen. But there is a new option and another way for them to be able to invest and have a lasting legacy. And as a dad of 4 kids, seeing kids in our neighborhood, them to have that opportunity is something that not every day in Congress, as I've joked with my colleagues, is the most productive day in my career. But to be able to be a part of something like this is, it makes everything worthwhile. I'm away from my kids a ton in this job. And being able to be a part of something like this, a small part that I played, is something that is transformational. And I'll be able to look back on this and be so grateful for this opportunity that I've had to be able to serve in Congress. Thank you so much. I appreciate the chance to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would anybody have a question? Michael, Susan, Brad, please.
Options contracts for babies?
If you could, did either of you say you're donating how much? First question. And Mr. President, is there an educational value to this in terms of not just the money in the account? What can kids learn in this account?
Well, I think they can learn a little bit about the free enterprise system, they can really learn a lot about how life works, how business works. They want to go out and make a living for themselves, because maybe it's going to be a lot more than we think, or maybe it's not going to be quite as much as we think, depending on what happens with the world and the market. We'll try and do very well in that regard too, but there's a lot of learning to be done, and I think this is a big step forward.
And your reaction, did either of you say you're donating how much?
We already said it's $6.25 billion.
No, I mean, with the reaction between the two of you. Someone came up with the idea.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, so we kind of started with a smaller amount, to be honest. And we started talking about Texas only at the beginning.
And adopting the state of Texas.
Right. And then we thought about it some more, and we thought
Got pretty excited about the idea.
Yep, and we went back and forth, and as we do on these things, and we
got
ended
more
up
and more excited, and next thing you know,
this is where we ended up. So, but
The number
a
kept climbing.
lot of discussion and consideration over a long period of time.
Yeah.
to
I mean,
to
we
come to this.
believe
And
this
we feel
is
great about it.
the greatest investment that we could possibly make is in children, and we've been investing in children for over 26 years with our foundation.
Yeah, and you know, there are 30 states already that require at least one semester of financial literacy, and hopefully all 50 states will do that. And, you know, as children begin to understand that they have these accounts, that creates a real need for our schools, our parents, our community organizations to really begin to grow financial literacy in the country, which can only be a good thing.
It's really an amazing moment that two people would do that kind of a contribution. I mean, it's just an amazing moment. And it shows you there's a tremendous heart in great entrepreneurs. He's a great entrepreneur. They're both great entrepreneurs because he probably wouldn't have done it without you, to be honest. That's the way it often works. And I know this relationship so well. There could be a lot of truth to that. But it shows you that there's a big heart in some pretty tough people. He's a tough cookie, but he's got a very, very warm spot. And what you've done, I don't think it's going to be talked about for a long time. It won't be forgotten. Thank you, sir.
May I ask a question? Thank you, sir. My question is about the logistics or the administration of the program. You obviously want to help poorer children. How will you help families perhaps who don't have access to computers or internet at home to make this program a reality?
Do you want to maybe answer that question?
Sure. And please speak in the microphone if you don't mind.
Well, first, Treasury, as the Secretary talked about, is going to be administering the program. And we should just say that Luke Pettit, the Assistant Treasury Secretary, has just done an extraordinary job with the Secretary in what I think will be the biggest consumer launch in the history of government. 60 million accounts are going to get created next year. And these accounts are going to be promulgated. All parents are going to have to do is to claim the account. So if they have access to an Android phone or a public library to go to a computer and gain access, they can claim that account. And whether they claim it or not, the account is going to continue to compound. So they don't have a deadline by which they have to claim the account. There's time, right? And there's going to be a lot of resources. Think about this. Kids in school, we're going to have schools engaged, helping to tell them that they need to claim their accounts, to educate them, et cetera. We're going to run a big public campaign around this. So we're just getting started. Today is day one. This is an extraordinary contribution, but it's the beginning of a drumbeat you're going to hear for the next 6 months leading up to the 250th anniversary of the country. I don't think there's anybody in the country who won't have heard about this by the time we get to July 4th of next year. And we're going to make sure, listen, we know that wealthy families have access to 529 accounts, right? This is an opportunity, and the instruction was, how do we get the 50 million other families into the game? This is the first time we've done that because we're auto-creating these accounts for every child at birth, and so we're going to be very focused on making sure that every family entitled to get one of these accounts is able to claim it and get it.
Daniel, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. These programs seem to create an opportunity for parents to create unprecedented financial security for their children, sir. Do you believe that these accounts will be a big part of your legacy when everything goes down? We've heard talks about you make legacy as a peacemaker, but this is a really, really big deal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do think so, and I think it's a big part of everybody up here today. This was a group that was very instrumental, and in particular, obviously, Michael and Susan, it's a big part of their legacy. You know, they've got a big legacy anyway, but this is maybe going to be as important or more important than anything they've done thus far. It's, looking back in 100 years from now, I think you're going to see some things that they'll be talking about this very day. So thank you for that question. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. These accounts were originally discussed as a way to incentivize people to have more children. Are there any other policy proposals you're looking at like this to encourage the birth rate to increase?
Well, we are looking at programs. We're looking at, there's a certain Australian plan that people are liking and they're talking about. You know what I mean? There's a plan where, not for children necessarily, but it's for people, working people. And we are looking at other things different from this. I think this is very unique, but different from this, but very important. Yeah.
the Australian retirement savings program?
Say it.
You mean the Australian retirement
That's
savings
what they're
program?
talking about. Yep, we're looking at it very seriously. It's a good plan. It's worked out very well. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, can you talk about what tax benefits these accounts come with? The information sheet that we just received said that when a child turns 18, they'll be treated like traditional IRAs and subject to a 10% withdrawal tax.
Please,
can you speak to when
Sure.
children will be able to access these funds?
They can access them when they're 18, or they can convert them to an IRA at that time. During the 18 years, parents or employers can donate with the tax deduction up to $5,000 into each account, and then philanthropists, like Michael and Susan, can add an unlimited amount to the accounts. So $5,000 from employees or families, and then gifts from foundations and philanthropists can be an unlimited amount.
Mr. President, you said that you have been talking to your wealthy friends, as well as you, Mr. Dell, about contributing. Can you walk us through maybe who you've been talking to and how much more we can expect on top of
I think the people you probably would think I would be talking to. There's a group of people out there that have been very successful, and we've already started talking to them. You know, we're doing ballrooms, we're doing arcs, we have a thing that's being planned that's going to be a great tribute to the country, as you know. You probably heard about it. The arc that we're looking at by the bridge near Arlington, there's going to be something. We're doing some other things for Washington itself and for the country itself. But a lot of the people that have, gone in and done a real job with that. The ballroom, I think Michael and Susan, the next time we meet, well, I think hopefully we'll meet before then, but we're going to have a big event over in the ballroom to celebrate this. We're building a ballroom that they've wanted at this beautiful White House for 150 years. They've wanted it so badly. Right now we can hold 109 people if you're lucky in a room. It's a beautiful room, but it's 109 people, and we're building something. You see the trucks in the back. You see the clanging, the banging, and when it's completed, it'll be one of the greatest ballrooms anywhere in the world. It's going to be amazing. So people that were involved in that process, I have a lot of friends with a lot of success, and every one of them, I would be shocked if anyone turns us down. We're going to have a lot of big contributors, Jeff.
On a separate topic, if I may, sir, you had a call with Brazil's President Lula today. Can you tell us what you discussed?
Yeah, we had a great talk. We talked about trade. We talked about sanctions, because, as you know, I sanctioned them, having to do with certain things that took place. But we had a very good talk. I like him. Very good. We had some good meetings, as you know, but we had a very good talk today. Yes, I did.
You also pardoned the former president of Honduras, and he was released from prison
I
yesterday.
did. Well, he was the president, and they had some drugs being sold in their country, and because he was the president, they went after him. That was a Biden horrible witch hunt, which was, a lot of people in Honduras asked me to do that, and I did it. I feel very good about it. If you have some drug dealers in your country and you're the president, you don't necessarily put the president in jail for 45 years. That was a Biden-inspired witch hunt.
Did his letter impact your decision on that, sir, from Mr. Stone?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Your decisions, recent decisions to Syria, renewed many hopes for the Syrian people. And now the minorities in Syria, like Kurds, Christians, and Jews, they want U.S. help them to have some sort of autonomy and their rights being protected in Syria. How do you
We're going to give them help, and I think Syria's come a long way. The new leader of Syria was here, as you know, 3 weeks ago, and he was really into making that country, bringing the country around. Not an easy job. Not an easy job. It's centuries of problems. But I think he's going to do a good job. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in him. Yeah, please.
Mr. President.
In the broader context of the economy with these childhood investments, we just saw the biggest Black Friday in history, up 4.1% from last year, $26 billion. Kevin told me about that. We also saw that they're going to spend $1 trillion on Christmas this year, $1 trillion. Increasing 4.1%. 25 states, gas is below $3, a handful below $2.50 and getting better. energy policy matters, the
I
economy
like this guy.
and timing matters.
Who are you with?
Real America's Voice.
That's what I heard. That's what
But
I like
timing
you
matters.
very much. Keep talking.
So to invest in these children now, the economy, the better the economy is, the better for the children, right? We're in a pretty good spot right now.
Sure. Well, I do, and I appreciate it. No, we have an amazing thing. We have over almost $20 trillion of investment coming in. I don't even know if you know that. 20 trillion, that's a lot by any standard, right? But Biden, as an example, I say this, his administration over a 4-year period had much less than $1 trillion. And we're up to 18, I guess right now, Scott, about 18 trillion in 10 months. And there's never been a country, China, no country has ever done anything even close to that. Even if you figure 20% of that, no country's done 20%. And it's because of tariffs and and I think because of November 5th, the election day. But we have now under construction, I guarantee you're expanding a lot of your different places, right, for Dell. But we have places like that. We have car companies. We have AI coming in at levels. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's amazing. And all of these places, hundreds and hundreds of plants, thousands, they're going to be opening, and they're going to be producing a lot of success, a lot of jobs. And I say it all the time. The king of Saudi Arabia said to me a year ago, he said, 1 year ago, your country was dead. And now you've got the hottest country anywhere in the world, and that's what we have. And it's one of the reasons Michael's able to do this. It's one of the reasons I'm able to be here and, haven't really run a very successful campaign. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by millions. We won the districts. I'll tell you, the district vote is the most impressive. 2,750 compared to 550. That's some difference. And we just had a tremendous election and a tremendous vote of confidence. And thank you very much for that question. Thank you.
On immigration, sir. Will you make a deal with Democrats?
Will you make a deal with Democrats?
Will you make a deal with Democrats on ACA subsidies?
Thank you, Mr.
Will you make a deal with the Democrats? Democrat. Hee-haw. Hee-haw. Make a deal with them Dems. Dimsdale Dimmadome. Well, you heard it here first from the Dimsdale Dimmadome. I'm Doug Dimsdale. This is the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Well, folks, there you have it. Kids are getting investment accounts being spurred by the U.S. Treasury and the first initial donation from the Dell family of the computer Dells. And it sounds like these contributions are going to get larger and larger as probably more and more rich billionaires decide that they need tax write-offs and would rather give it to kids instead of I suppose organizations. So should be interesting. If you're just joining in right now, basically it sounds like there are certain levels where if you make too much money, your kid's not going to get it because you could probably start your own 529. But below that, I believe the number as of now is $1,250 is the current starting amount. And it sounds like you could claim it on July 5th of next year. And they're going to be doing it for X amount of years. And the idea is to get kids early and often, I guess, involved in the stock market and caring about the economic success of our country. And if I had to guess, it sounds like other rich billionaires are going to get talked into donating into it. So I think that it's going to go even higher, most likely that base amount. It doesn't sound like we have all of the details yet. Like, for example, can parents touch it before they turn 18? Or what's the deal? Can you take loans against it? Like that type of stuff. It sounds like we don't quite have all of the details, but hey, I bet we will be finding out. But anyway, folks, the market looking somewhat decent today. The SPY is slightly green. The Q's even more. The Russell slightly green. Bitcoin is very much up. RUM is very much up. MSTR is very much up. So I hope you made a buttload of money today. Before I let you go, remember, wait, I need to reload this. I feel like Okay, only 8 hours left. I was going to say, you only have till midnight tonight to take advantage of it. Don't forget to use that code Goonie with Apex. Today is the final day of the current deal. That's what I have for you. We'll have some content coming out later on this evening, and then we'll be streaming once again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early, to celebrate Hump Day together. That's what I have for you. I appreciate you stopping by for this extra show of the day. You guys always bring the best of vibes, so thank you so much. I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. Peace.